All right, so Hollywood, symbolism, movies, and House of Cards. So first, for those minds that are unaware, I'm going to explain to you about the origin of Hollywood. Hollywood comes from two words, holly and wood. The wood of the holly tree is all white, and that all white wood to a druid priest became his wand that was used to cast spells and sorcery. So this is where you get the concept of Hollywood. Side knowledge here. Holly rhymes with Molly. And for those that don't know, Molly comes from the Greco-Roman mythology where Mother Circe was a goddess who used to change men to animals. And the only way that you could save your crew from Mother Circe was you had to pop a Molly. So if you read the old stories of the Greeks and Romans, when you popped a Molly, you saved your crew from Mother Circe. And so that's ironic because in hip hop today, there's a lot of people talking about popping mollies, saving their crew. But furthermore, right now in Hollywood, there's a very notorious movie, symbolic to many things that have transpired, called House of Cards. And House of Cards, when you put this together, it will literally stupefy you how this message was put before the people, and they had eyes but they couldn't see. Now, first I'm going to say, everyone knows about the House of Cards. Think back to your childhood. As a child, you laid there in the living room building a house of cards. And what ultimately always happened when you built a house of cards? The foundation always fell. And so the House of Cards is an organization that's built on a very weak foundation. And this DVD series talks about the United States Congress, the presidential election, so on and so forth. Now, many men and women, friends and associates, thought that I was insane. They thought I needed to be in an insane asylum because I was informing them that Trump would win the presidential election. In response to that, they would say, why? And I would say, are you not watching the House of Cards? House of Cards dealt with all sorts of tyranny, corruption in the on Capitol Hill, which ultimately it led to the first female president running for office, in which she ultimately ended up losing to the corrupted ways of this particular male presidential electee. Now, does that not sound familiar? But anyways, let's carry on. There's a historic connection to the House of Cards. For those who don't know, the Rothschild family has a huge strain or financial obligation to the United States Congress and its monetary supply. Well, the Rothschild, they have a famous painting which is ironically called the House of Cards. It was painted by Jean-Simeon Chardin, a French painter, and it's a still life picture which depicts a young boy building a house of cards. And everybody knows about the Rothschilds. Well, first they hold the title of a lord. Why are they calling themselves lords? Lord Jacob Rothschild. But anyway, this painting is valued at 4 to 14 million. Go figure. The players in the game, the elite bankers who are making the rules, they're also appraising the value of their assets. So you may have a painting that could be much more exquisite than the House of Cards painting, but yours is not worth 14 million. Yours is worth $40, and you better be happy with that. But their painting is worth 14 million. So ultimately, what is the Rothschild dynasty saying about the U.S. government, Congress, and its people and their republic? Are they saying or sending you the message that it is built on a weak foundation that is guaranteed to fall? In summary, always pay attention to the movies, because we know Hollywood, they tell you what, They tell you what they're doing. They tell you literally what they're going to do. And so if you have any spare time, take some time and look at the show House of Cards. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The president, Frank Underwood, he was played by Kevin Spacey. He has all sorts of shady or fraudulent dealings with Russia. It's not ironic we see that happening, right? There was one scene where there was actually a particular political party from Russia who also, they were inside the White House. We saw that come out. And so, to me, that is of no coincidence. And many people do not know, they're unaware. There's a White House in the United States, but there's also a White House in Russia. You don't believe it? Look it up. What's the White House doing in Russia?